Mercury is going retrograde again soon, everyone. But I've definitely been finding a lot of issues with the technology lately, but that's okay. How are you feeling? I just thought I would come on here live, have a conversation about, I guess, Three Eye Atlas, this conjunction with the sun that happened, I believe, on the 21st of October. The upcoming like perihelion or like very close encounter, I guess, with the sun between this interstellar comet. And yeah, just where maybe you are at, where I'm at, what we're all feeling as like a collective, and some ways that you could support yourself during this time. I do have the cards here. We'll see. Maybe we will pull some cards. Actually, let's start with one card just right off the bat. Why don't we, to kind of see some guidance for us as a collective during this time. So just taking a deep breath in. Thank you. So we have Akasha. It says, your guidance is divinely guided. Your guidance is divinely guided. So the last few days, I don't know about you, I have been like, well, actually, it's been longer where my sleep at nighttime has definitely been like, it's hard for me to go to bed. The last 3 nights, I've been like up way too late. And this like vibration seems to be underlying in my body. And then in the morning time, when I finally get to bed, and then I wake up and I am like so exhausted. I've been sleeping into like 9, 10 o'clock, which is not the norm for me. So I'm curious for all of you, how has it been showing up? How have you been feeling energetically? And the reminder for you to honor your body. I was talking with a friend, fellow starseed, and she kind of mentioned that, it's like, what if this is just this flow, and like, let us just be in honor of where our bodies are at, what we need, what sleep we need. So maybe you need to hear that, those of you who are going through something similar. I recognize that that can be hard, especially when, you got life, you got things to do, but here where I live, throughout our whole province, teachers have gone on strike for the past like 3 weeks. I think this is now, possibly again, even for next week. And I'm just like having a lot of gratitude for even that. It's like, okay, thank God I don't have to get up so early. The kids don't have to get up so early and like make their way to school, the teachers, so there's a lot of things that have been like in the works. I mean, even in the States, like people not working with the government, or all these different like labor disruptions that have been going on, just recognizing everything is, as the card said, divinely guided. Your guidance is divinely guided. If you'd like a card pulled and you're here, just let me know. I can probably tune into that too for a message for you. But with this whole Three Eye Atlas conjunct the sun, which happened on the 21st, apparently, because I mean, we know, well, if you aren't aware, it sounds like there's not a whole lot of information out there being publicly made known at this time, which is definitely bizarre. Whatever it means, I have my own theories right now about this whole Three Eye Atlas from that star seed kind of galactic concept. And also from the idea that all of the energies that exist in our universe have some connection to, we have the macrocosmic aspect, so the higher range energy of like spirit and this deeper kind of wisdom. And then we have the microscopic, the physical body, the world energy, the things that are kind of closer to our home. And what I perceive with what's happening with Three Eye Atlas, and the fact that now it's like conjunct the sun, which in my understanding, it's like we could imagine it being like in a line, an alignment, with the solar energy of the sun. All of that galactic energy, wherever that object has come from, whatever beings or organisms or energy it holds from, its creation, that is going to have a ripple effect. It's now making, like, I want to like identify it almost as like quantum entanglement. If two people come in together and they meet, then they are linked, right? Their energies are linked. What happens to one can like also play out in another. So there's something happening from this place where these two energies now joining, and because we too have been joined with the sun for billions of years or whatever, there's this interplay. So as we get closer on December 19th, I guess that will be the closest position the Earth is to this three-eye atlas. Only imagine what will elevate in our consciousness. Hi, Krista Lauren. Very much resonate. Today was the first time I could sleep in. My body's been buzzing. Yeah, yeah. Oh, I assume you mean you'd love a card. Sure, I can pull a card for you. But yeah, just, whatever's showing up for you, I guess really my invitation here and the reason I wanted to come on is just like honoring what is happening within the microcosm of your body, like your physical energy level. If you need to take extra rest, if you are feeling like, overwhelmed, because I was reading too some of the astrology. Well, there's like shift of Neptune going into, I think, Pisces from Aries, like retrograde Pisces are into Pisces, which is a deep subconscious layer. And then there was also, actually there's two different things. But one I believe was with Chiron, and I don't know about you. I think Chiron is like retrograde in my birth chart or something like that. And like, I'm like, oh yeah, great, wounded healer. There's a lot of stuff around like self-worth. So I don't know. Many of you may not have been here for the live that I held on Monday about like stop cock blocking. The pleasures of the universe and life. But if you would like to, you can click the link in the description to go to my magical shop, and there's like a free ritual there you can do. Specifically, it's called Bye Bye Cock Blocking. And for the month of November, we're going to be tuning into sacred sexual energy, creative energy, really just allowing yourself to receive from the universe. And I think this is so important because there's so much stuff happening in our close proximity to Earth at this point. So many unknowns. And really it feels like we're being asked to like up level. So you may be feeling the pull to do more of the things you love, to be in more confidence of who you are, which that's totally the thing I'm feeling lately. Okay, let's pull cards here though. Okay, Krista Lauren, I think it was. Hi, Grumpy Vamps. New subscribers, hello, thanks. I'm just an idea from the source of creation. I like that. Hi there. Love and blessings to you too. Okay, Krista Lauren, tuning in here to this card. You have the Age of Light. You've been training for this for lifetimes. I love how like the cards are kind of just like so far flowing. The first one was that Akasha, that divinely guided energy, like everything is a blueprint of your life. You're here for a reason. This interstellar object being here right now is here for a reason. But specifically for you, Krista Lauren, it's like you've been training, you've been training for this for lifetimes. There might be a lot of unknowns right now in your life, like, oh, like, should I do this? Or, well, like, my employer keep me here? Or, do I need to move to a new house, like over in this neighborhood, like whatever it might be. And all those things are like really, I want to say like irrelevant. Irrelevant in the sense that what's really actually important is you just doing what feels true and right for you. Okay. I don't know if you're familiar with like human design or any of these sorts of concepts, but there's different ways of tuning into like what your like kind of like I call it like the pleasure center. Like what is the thing that lights you up? For me, it's like the sacral response. And it's like if something feels like a yes, like a juicy yes, or like a when I am making the decision, that's how I know to go for it. For some people, it might be emotional and so forth. I'm not like a big human design person, but I just really like the idea of like learning that. It seems to help support making the decisions. So whatever you might be going through right now, Krista, like um, this is a very pertinent time, this age of light, that there is no like wrong choice, okay? That all of the things that are meant to come through you for the world, it's been like a gradual building up for and across lifetimes. And now you got to just follow your like heart. You got to follow what feels true for you. You got to move and like experience. Yeah, like what I'm like, it's interesting what I'm seeing like for you. I don't even know where you live or whatever your situation is. That what I'm seeing is like you living kind of like at a apartment condo or something like this, or some place kind of close to like a beach. I was kind of like seeing like Venice Beach. I don't know if you've ever been there. I think it was Venice Beach. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. And like if you've ever been near there, there's like all these cool hip like villas and like summer homes or condos, apartments, flats. I'm like there's different setups and you literally just like walk out your door. I'm seeing like you walking a dog for some reason and like it just being like so just yeah, I'm going out for a walk and like right there is this beach and like the liveliness of it. So I don't even know if that's something that calls to you, but like I can literally see the like lightness in that. So like whatever feels like true for you, do that. Maybe that's for someone else that needs to hear just that vision of things. Like, but it's like, what's going to be the most free, expansive, what's the other word you want me to use? But like I'm just like so whatever reason like the Red Hot Chili Peppers is coming to my mind maybe because I think they have a song like oh it's called Venice Queen. I don't know, have you heard that song? Maybe it's worth listening to. There's something. Anyway, just speaking that to you, Crystal Lauren. I'm gonna read comments. um mm, yes. Okay, I've been listening to my body instead of my brain as usual. It feels strange. And that's my dream location, beach, walking, biking, water, going to the beach next month. Oh, cool. Okay. So yeah, making it like a thing for sure. Making it a thing for you. Like, how do you just trust? So let's see, anything Three Eye Atlas related for Krista from guides, like something I've been doing at nighttime. And at any point that it comes to me is literally connecting to like my like Palladian guides, those like galactic guides that I see kind of like they're there. They're just like kind of hovering, I guess, and just having conversation or connection with them. Um, that might be for some of you, but Crystal Lauren, let's just see if there's a specific message from your guides. Ooh. You got two cards here. It says, don't dim to fit in and break the chain. Ancestral patterns, healing, rewriting the future. And then the question, how are you dimming your light in order to fit in? So, yeah, it's like, like all those lifetimes, all those genetic DNA patterns sent and transmitted through you from your grandmother's mother, so forth. All this stuff is like helping you to heal. Um, I guess like that's like a message they want you to know, but this dimming your light, Krista Lauren, is like really from your guides, these like starseed guides or these galactic guides, want you to know that like you don't have to fit in. All the fitting in that your ancestral lineage did, that was for them, and like trust that it's healing and that the healing also takes part from you just being out there. Like I really, with that vision of you or vision of whatever by the beach, like it was just so like it was bright. Like you know, that's when I'm like, oh, it's like light and like sunny, like California sunny. I don't know. Um, you know, like that type of thing you see in like a movie even. So how are you dimming your light in order to fit in, Krista Lauren? Your guides are really wanting you to break that, and this is thus breaking the chain of your ancestral connection to dimming down, not being yourself, not expressing yourself. And remember I told you how there's like these guides present lately that I've been talking to. There's two specifically, but I love how like in this card it's like there's you and you're like the full version of you, and then there's these two kind of like guided versions of you, and they're like more dim, right? They're like kind of like effervescent or something, so you can't see them. They're just like an aura. To me that like means like you're being guided, you're supported, and so forth, you know. Hi Terrifier, what's that? Pulling cards. If anyone would like cards, people tuning in, you can let me know. I'm sorry, what was the question? Yeah, I hope that makes sense, Krista. Just around from your guides. I gotta do a drug test. I'm looking for some urine. Sorry, can't help you here, Terrifier. All the best. Unless you'd like cards pulled, but you know. So yeah. What else was I gonna say? Is there anything else that needs to be said? Well, yeah, if anyone else wants a card or cards pulled, let me know. Really, I guess my hope of being on here live was just to really tune into this three-eye atlas conjunct the sun. Remind you that if you aren't aware that this stuff is happening, that it might be impacting your energy levels. You may be coming into different like understandings about yourself or seeing your life in a way that you're like, oh, like really reflective or contemplative of, is this how I want to live? Like what else? You know, it's like because there's something happening at a deeper consciousness level, because the stars, the astrology, the planets, they are all just again representations of our inner world, archetypes, right? There are links to how we act and be, and when we see them joining in the sky or being in oppositions to each other or whatever, different alignments, it mirrors that internal world. Do I think you need to go around and like believe in all the stuff that the planets are doing? No, like you ultimately are the creator of your reality in your life, but it's just something to be aware of. Like, oh, I'm having these certain like self-worth thoughts. Oh, okay, Chiron is whatever, like, or, you know, these sorts of things are happening. Okay, let me just be conscious of it so I can make choice. Three-eye atlas conjunct with the sun, coming into perihelion now, net meaning the closest position to the sun next week on the 29th. What is that going to mean, right? What are we going to be feeling and experiencing as a collective, but also internally? Terrifier. I don't tell the future, but I can pull cards to, you know, support you in attuning to your highest path is how I would describe it. So anyone else with like cards, let me know. Krista says, oh gosh, resonates so much. I've been working through that, been in shadow work to love the parts of me that make me hold myself in outwardly, being my authentic self now. Yeah, I love that. Thanks for being here, sharing that too. Look forward to seeing what, you know, when that stuff happens for you, when you decide to make the jump or leap or whatever, come back, let me know. Send a picture. Okay, Terrifier asks, my girlfriend cheats on me. Will things get better? Well, let's tune into the energy. Pull a card for you. I mean, my immediate question is like, what's your worth? Like, what do you see your worth as? Do you think you are worthy of being cheated on? So, Terrifier, you have the Star Seed card. What lights you up? But what my mind is going to straight away is that Saturn, the planet Saturn, the rings. So I don't know what's going on with you and your partner. But like when I see Saturn, that's just instant like karmic patterns, karmic relationships, karmic learnings. It's interesting how it's like a woman there sitting looking at the planet from this like perch on another planet. What can I say? I'm gonna pull another card. You're welcome, Crystalore. No, I'm worthless. I use drugs. Well, I don't think you're worthless, but you may feel, like feelings of worthlessness. Which, those feelings, I can tell you. That's kind of, you guys, I mentioned this bye-bye cock blocking ritual. I did that, and that's why I created the thing and I put it out there. It's for free for people to get because it like just completely shifted things around my own personal self-worth. Places I was not allowing myself to receive, especially in relationship. And I use that term cock blocking because it's like, if you were to imagine the universe as like a sugar daddy or something, or sugar mama, like whatever gender, sexual connection you want it to be, it's like, what if everything I'm meant to receive and know that I'm like good and worthy about could be a blessing from the universe and it just wants to like fuck me, like, and just give it to me. Like, this might be really like uncomfortable for some of you. But that's why I like wrote down this ritual guide. You can go and follow it and do your work. I use this term on this channel a lot. Do your work, your personal development process, so that you can overcome these feelings and learn, like Krista Lauren just said about the shadow. Learn to face the shadow of unworthiness. Learn to face the shadow of addiction. Learn to face your shadow of whatever, anger or lust, or, these parts of ourselves that are inside each of us. We all have the tendency to feel unworthy. We all have the tendency to feel or express anger. We all have the tendency to have addictions. We all do have addictions. So it's about doing your personal work so you can face it. And then from there, you have power. Okay, Terrifier? You have soul family. Wow, so you have like a connection with something here. Call in your tribe, it says. You don't have to do it alone. I don't know, like, you keep mentioning the substance use stuff. We oftentimes people turn to addictions because of like past experiences of what felt good. I don't know if your partner also uses. There's a linking that happens. But when I mention the karmic stuff, that might be something you want to look into. What exactly the relationship is. And it'll continue to circulate. You'll be continuing to go through the same patterns, just like with addictions, right? Same pattern. We talk about the addiction, like recovery cycles, right? By the way, I used to be a psych nurse. So if you're wondering like, what the fuck? I worked in mental health and addictions for many years. And then I become whatever, more into the spiritual process. But if we think about those codependent behaviors, which we all have, we all experience it. It's about healing, and we go through these karmic relationships sometimes to help us heal, right? To heal the codependency, to heal the addictions, to the beliefs that we aren't worthy, or that we deserve to be punished, or we don't have control or power. But you do, Terrifier, you do. And this process is about learning that and starting to believe it. And it says soul family, call in your tribe. You don't have to do it alone. So like, who and what. We'll just ask your guides, Terrifier, to come and light the path to those right people. And to, when it's right for you, close the doors on those relationships that don't exude a sense of like your self-worth or honor your self-worth, see your self-worth, encourage your self-worth, or empowerment. And that'll be when you're ready. I was personally in like what I would say a karmic relationship. I like identified as a twin flame relationship, which if you don't know those terms, I'm so sorry. Now you do. But this idea that we can like be in these patterns so many times and it's just like fucking killing us until one day when we do the work, continually just be curious, call in the soul tribe, call in your guides, your ancestors, those beings or prayers that want to help you. One day it'll shift and you'll just like wake up and be like, oh, I don't believe I put myself through that for like however many years, or you know what I mean? And yeah, it's going to shift. It's going to shift. You're here. The fact that you're here means already you're like, your energy is shifted. Because we wouldn't come into alignment. If you're aware of energy, we wouldn't come into alignment if we aren't similar, or if there wasn't some part of us that had a line, right? So yeah, calling in that tribe for you, Terrifier. You don't have to do it alone. The people who can support you can be loving, and it might be professional people, right? Not just friends. There's nothing, I think it's important, again, coming from previous mental health addiction work, I can see the benefit, even for myself, working with a therapist with all the traumatic stuff that I went through as a kid and as a nurse. It's like these things can help us and gives us an opportunity to work through what is showing up at the time. So just sending you that message, Terrifier. Yes, Krista, thank you. I just smoke weed and she treats me like dirt. You deserve better, Terrifier. Yeah, Krista is correct. It's like getting clear on what it is that you want in life. What is it you desire? How do you see your life? And it maybe, and I want to just add to that, like you may not all feel like you know. This is going to get more clear in the next like 2 months. Or maybe you thought you knew. That was me. I was like, oh, I thought I knew. And then all this stuff started showing up and all the work, the self-development and the coming more to home to myself. And now it's like this feeling of what the fuck am I doing? But yet I feel like there's something pulling on a path forward, even though you might not know. And they do say the best way forward is to walk on the path that you cannot actually see. That's where like true opportunity can come through instead of us muddling it with our egoic ways, Anyways, I see there's lots of people on here. If you'd like cards pulled, let me know in the comments. If not, yeah, if you're just tuning in, being part of the energy, that's totally fine too. I just keep looking over at those trees for some reason. Let's see if there's a message from the trees. What would you like us to know? On Monday this week, we have our monthly live Mystic Live Q&A, Mystic Hotline Q&A, and it's all going to be about sacred sexuality, sensuality, sex, magic, all the fun. So if you would like to tune in on that or with that, with me and others, you have questions around how you can start to access this creative energy in your life, tune into more of that pleasure, juiciness, kind of we were talking about, come and join for that live happening Monday, I think at 4:30, I'm pretty sure. I think. Oh, something, it's there. It's processed there. Hi, Robin from New York. I'm glad I caught you. Yes, okay, I'll pull cards for you, Robin. Do you think Three Eye Atlas is just a distraction? Oh yeah, Crystal Lauren, it should be Mountain Standard Time. You'll have to check. It's saved. If you subscribe and then hit the bell, you'll see, I guess, when I'm coming on live. Um, the Riot Way. Hi, I found you. I found you too. Welcome. Okay, Robin, back to your question. Do I think 3i Atlas is just a distraction? I'm going to read the card here and let's see what it says. Dance with life. Do something to change your energy. This is the card from the trees. Dance with life. Do something to change your energy. How does that link to the question you're asking about 3i Atlas being a distraction? I don't really feel like it's a distraction in the sense of there's something else happening that our awareness is being pulled away from. I mean, I'm in Canada, so I don't know how it is in the States and all the stuff that's been going on. Do I think it's timely that NASA, the whole government shutdown stuff has been going on, right? Like, come on, you guys. Don't we watch movies? Like, you watch movies, right? Like, we know how much the governments know about things, especially the American government, I would say. Like, they got like their hands in everything. The CIA, whatever. Do I think there's distractions or like illusions being played? Probably. And like if so, possibly for like the benefit of everyone's like well-being. So, I would like just a theory, a theory. Okay. I'm not speaking this as like truth, but there's like all the military. My understanding is in the States, there was a bunch of military being dispersed, right? The last like couple months. Maybe because of all the, like, is it immigration, illegal immigration, protests, things like that. In my head, I'm like, is that really why they're saying that's happening? Because I don't watch the news and I don't believe the news. Or is it because there's like a preparation and they're like, okay, if something is coming, we got to have military everywhere. How else would you just disperse military without people being like, what's happening? You create like story, right? Of like, oh, there's protests happening or certain behaviors, we got to like stop it, so we're putting people in. Like, to me that would make sense. So when you ask if there's a distraction, now I'm not saying that that's happening because it's like 3i Atlas is an evil filled with evil aliens coming. Like, I don't think so. I don't believe any of that. I think if there's any intelligent life out there, they're like more and they can come here. They're probably more intelligent than us, and they would be like, we better fucking stay away. Right? So I don't think 3i Atlas is a distraction. I think it can be a distraction if we're like so hyper focused on, oh, like there's this thing and it's going to be bad or wrong or evil. I have some things written here. I don't know if I want to share this right now. It was doing some gematria, some different values and calculations of like the letters of the names, like 3i Atlas, the wow signal, the dates. I might share this because I was like, oh, do I make a video about this? This is usually my own little like insanity mind percolating with magic. Let me see if I share this because it might be applicable. So yeah, I'm curious, what do you all think? Like, what do you think about 3i Atlas? Do you think it's a distraction? I mentioned how I believe it's coming, and like any other planet and the archetypes of the planet, it's going to shift or level up our consciousness because it's a fucking gigantic thing in the sky and it's close by our gigantic thing in the sky, in space. It's got to, like, we're like molecules, right, of energy. We're these, and it has to like create some change, some type of internal shift or transformation. Do we need to sit here and stock up on food and water? Probably not. I don't want to be in fear. Like, I think fear is like, what is that in June? I love that. Fear is the little mind killer or whatever. Like, fear destroys us. And that goes against, I think, what many alien galactic beings, especially star seeds, or like, yeah, star seed nations would talk about. Okay, the right way. Hey, Fola, I'm in East Africa, so I'm thrilled to find you right now. Cool. Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you. I'm glad you could make it here. Maybe I need to do some more morning times. I know I usually do later because I'm thinking, oh, I hope I can get people that I maybe need to switch it up. Hi, Meredith. Hello. Oh, what did I click? Oh, there we go. I think it's distracting us from our true selves, looking outward instead of inward. That's a great point, Robin. I think that can, again, that can be the tendency, like, oh my gosh, the thing. But it's like, so this is where we do the work. That's why I came on here live to share, like, oh, I'm just feeling so exhausted in the mornings. Since the Three Eye Atlas went conjunct with the sun on the 21st, which I didn't know. I didn't realize this, you guys, until just yesterday. But then I found out, I was like, whoa, like that's exactly when I started waking up, like at like 10 a.m., just exhausted. Like I haven't slept. I'm like, and the dreams are getting way longer. Like, I don't know, it feels like I'm literally just all night living a life. And I feel exhausted. I haven't felt like I'm going anywhere out of my body, which is kind of where I'm like, oh, that's where I get a little, because that's happened before, and I personally didn't care for that experience. But we can either focus external at, oh, the thing, and it's like, or how is it reflecting what's happening internal? So now this object, a star CD galactic object, is conjunct or aligned with the sun, which is tied to Tiferet, heart center, right? The space of beauty, our radiant self. How can we link that then to how we want to show up? Like the card said for Kristen, or Krista, sorry, Krista Lauren, I put your names together. This idea of not dimming our light. But who knows, you guys? Who knows what's going to say in the next little bit? I'll pull a card for you, Robin, and anyone else who would like, you let me know. But I want to just read some of the gematria. So gematria is the concept in magic or in different like spiritual practice. It's kind of been used all over. I kind of tend towards the Kabbalistic or Jewish mystical path or Christian Kabbalistic path, where we take the letters and of the alphabet and we convert them into numerical value. I also kind of did this using like an English transliterated to Hebrew, to the best of my abilities, because I don't speak like Hebrew. And then I take the equivalent like numerical value. So 3i Atlas, I put 3 plus I being Yod is how I did it, which is 10. And then Atlas spelt out Aleph, Tav, Lamed, Aleph, Samek. And that equals 505, okay? And then there was also the wow signal. So the whole idea here, you guys, is like apparently back in the 70s, there was this like blip or something in space. They call it the wow signal. And it was just like a point that it generated energy on like the satellites or whatever they were looking. The weird thing is that happened like that many years ago. And it was like a far, far away, I guess, according to scientists. But the weird thing is that since then there's been other like a couple, or at least one or two other like points that have entered into our solar system that originated from there, and one of them being 3i Atlas. It comes from that same kind of area in space. So that was interesting to me. And then I'm like, well, what's wow? Like, wow, like even that word. And this is where it kind of got a little bit weird, where it's like, okay, well, my understanding is a W is Vav in the Hebrew, and an O is also Vav. So we have Vav, 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 which if you were to write down the numbers, it's 666. I was like, oh, well, yeah, okay. And then that would make total sense, because 666 isn't what you think it is, people. If you actually look in the Gematria Encyclopedia, or look up 666, yes, it's been termed as like the beast. It means like this like evil energy, but it actually also spells the name Yeshua, which is Jesus. So it's kind of funny how it's like both light and dark. It also can mean height or heights or excellence and also hidden. So I'm like, oh, interesting. The wow signal is kind of hidden. There's something to gain from there. It's like beyond the heights. Three Eye Atlas, that one equals 505 when we add up all the letters. And there's a couple or a few different meanings. Drinking vessels, a gift of Yah, which when I looked up the actual spelling, it was waistcoat. So I'm assuming it maybe is tied to like the story of, I think Jacob maybe in the coat. I didn't look much more into that. And then to make or declare perverse, to turn away from good. So interesting how even that number, if we look at the card equivalents to, the tarot major arcana cards, because each of these has a link to a Hebrew letter, we would have the Fool. Well, we'd have the Hermit, the Fool, the World, the Hanged Man, the Fool, and Temperance, which to me just really highlights that need of like, or the concept of a journey or a process, all of it coming down again to like what Robin was just saying, how it ends with stomach with temperance. There's like this alchemical internal process that is like calling to us. Then before I pull the cards for you, Robin, sorry, now you guys have me going on my little notes that I didn't really finish, and maybe this is wrong of me to be sharing, but this is the fun of like synchronicities and magic. And this is how my mind works or plays to see the interconnections. But on the 29th of October, 2025, that day, next Wednesday, being the day that Three Eye Atlas will be in perihelion to the sun, so like closest to the sun. I guess I don't have to say to the sun because perihelion would mean just assuming sun. We have the 29th path, so the moon, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Hermit card. So on that day, those might be three cards you want to like focus on. Moon, which is the very like deep subconscious energies, intuitive energies. Key of Fortune, which is like, or the Wheel of Fortune, very expansive and receptive, I want to say. And then the Hermit, because that's the key of the year. And then on the 19th of December, so when we on Earth are closest, apparently, unless things change, to Three Eye Atlas, we're going to have the card of either, there was two actually, and this was what was interesting, because we could look at 19th path or 19th key. So the 19th path would leave us with adjustment in the Thoth deck, which is like kind of like temperance, I guess, in a way, or sorry, justice. We got this balance with Lamed, or it could be the Sun card. I personally like that because it's like solar light. There's something happening with us internally. And then we have the Hangman for December and the Hermit card. So both of these dates, I mean, whatever, you do what you will on those days. But there's some stuff going on, I think. And there's other notes I made, but I don't really need to go into that with you all. Let's pull the cards and read the comments. Okay, the right way. I think I watched your video on Three Eye Atlas, and it's still the only info I've received on the matter. Yeah, see, that's interesting, because Robin's like, it's like, what distraction? And like, majority of people I've talked to have no idea what I'm talking about with Three Eye. I didn't even know about Three Eye Atlas. Like, my partner had to tell me about it, and now I'm the one that's like going with it. So, it just is what it is. As always, though, it feels like it's more about us, our response to the other. Medicine can emerge, war can emerge. It depends on how we see and believe in ourselves. That's my theory. Yeah. Appreciate that. Okay, Robin. And so, yeah, anyone else, if you do want cards, let me know. I'm going to probably stay till the top of the hour, I assume. Ooh, you have play, Robin. Have fun. Celebrate. Don't be so serious. Do you know how I got these scars? Like, No one would like, I don't think anyone would actually do that. And 4, 4, 4, 4. Like, I don't know, Robin, if that's a thing that you do, like, or you have witnessed, like some people, it's actually, let me backstep. Some people do that. Some people will like be at like a dinner, or some celebratory gathering and like start sharing their like victim story. And kind of like the Joker in those Batman movies, right? Heath Ledger, he's like, "Do you know how I got these scars?" Like, it's like no one asked you. Like, no one wants to know. We're like about to eat a beautiful dinner that's being prepared. Why would you think that's a good time? So, whatever that is, it's like maybe a remedy to that. Thinking of the word medicine that right way mentioned is like um, play, having fun, toning down the seriousness. And I think we can all benefit from this. Um, and, we, with like our whole upcoming show thing online, which has been a gong show, you guys figuring out how do you live perform music on streaming sites, anyway, social media sites. It's been fun. Um, but we were talking yesterday just about, like, okay, so we want to get this band together. So we have the full like band to rock out. And it's like we can go out. We've like attempted in the past to look for people. It has never really brought like come to fruition. And I'm just like, yesterday, I'm like, you know what? Like to me, it's just like just going out and playing, just putting oneself. And I think I've shared the story before about being with family a few years back, and my daughter was sitting with me, and my niece, who's like significantly younger, just frickin' skipped through the living room from one area of the house, just skipped right through, and her energy of play, she didn't call to anyone to play with her. She was just in it. And then my kid was like, oh, and she like got up and she went and played with her. And that stood out to me so much because that's how I envision everything about our life, about the best way to move forward is to, if you're feeling, Robin, like you want to bring in other people to do something or create a collective or do something like this, the best way to do that is to just start doing it yourself and to put yourself out there to invite people. If, through like, put a poster up, right? Not like, hey, I want you to come to this thing. It's more like, this is here. And I'm just having fun over here. I'm doing my thing, I'm playing, and then those right people will show up. Those people, when they see us playing, will show up that are meant. And so, yeah, for you, Robin, I feel like this play element um, can really be helpful. And like, it's a hard one because, like, I often sit, I'm like, oh, like sometimes when kids come around, like, honestly, this sounds horrible, but I'm like, not really like kids, like with my kid, okay, but like, I'm just kind of like, I'm too serious sometimes. Other times I can be so silly and fun. But overall, I would say I can be much more a mature adult type. And so tuning into this element of play can be a little bit more challenging in some degrees. I think it's important that you do it in your own way. And recognize that like you can talk to your inner child, Robin, to help you come into what were the things that you enjoyed as a kid that made you feel like you were in play or could easily move into that. Like for some people it's dressing up, maybe it's bringing that element in. For other people it's playing make believe. For other people it was drawing. Like whatever that might be for you, Robin, just calling your guides to support you with that. Okay. Because yeah, that sounds fun. That sounds fun. I love that. Okay, right. Way would like cards. Meredith would like cards. We'll get you cards because last time we didn't do it. Oh, I'm not worthy. Oh, you guys, I was just telling. Oh, I can't open it on my camera, but there's Chiron, and something's going on right now. So I think all this unworthy feeling is definitely tied to that. So, okay. Robin says, I am so serious, and yes, I need to play more. Well, Robin, have fun this week. How can you bring in that play? You know what I'm seeing too? Like Halloween's coming. Can you like incorporate that even with like if you hand out candy, or maybe you don't usually hand out candy or whatever you want to hand out? Could you dress up and play along with that? Or take part at someone's house where you know they're doing it, and like let that be a part of, even if you know you're kind of like, this is so fucking awkward. Like, um, I trust that you'll use your creativity and come up with something. Ooh, something cleared. Okay, right. The right way. Let's pull cards all the way over in Africa. And then we'll do Meredith. Ooh, right way. Pillar of light. Your vibration is rising. You are the oracle. I love the image of that person kind of like being lifted up. Right way. Like right now, you're kind of like, you mentioned the medicine emerging, wars emerging, like there's so much stuff happening. And all that disruption, all that chaos, all that doubt or uncertainty is like an even more important reason to recognize the light that you are. And I'm just like seeing, it's like all, I've mentioned this before, we're all like these different lights, or these pillars, these lighthouses across the globe. But for you, right way, it's like really, I'm going to pull another card for you here, but like really tuning into what that looks like or means for you. It says your vibration is rising. You are the oracle. So like maybe some other signs, or like, I want to say symptoms, like experiences of your psychic abilities have been tuning in. It's probably going to be more so with this whole three-eye atlas. Again, it doesn't matter if it's the three-eye atlas. Just know that it is like awakening for you and that you're already doing it. So stop overthinking. Keep facing your true north. Whatever it is that you're feeling called to be, what you're feeling called to share with the world, you're already doing it. So just like recognize that you are this oracle. If there are things that you've been feeling like called to create or bring to life, like just keep moving towards it. Don't overthink of like, how is it going to happen or work? Or, you guys, since I started this whole like spiritual journey or whatever, I mean, that's life, I guess. But like since since 2015, 2016, and like learning things, I was like, I always feel like there's going to be some big thing that like one day, it's not even a big thing, but there'll be a shift in humanity where one day everyone's just going to like completely go like 180, like kind of how it is when you have a spiritual awakening. And everyone's going to be like, oh, like there's energy and there's things and I can hear angels, or I can, whatever. And they're going to need the things that we are conscious of already. So seeing yourself, what's an oracle? What's a prophet? What's a healer? These people are people who have like experienced the things themselves first and then are in a position to put it out there or to guide, to just be the light, right? It doesn't need to be anything particular. It's not like you have to go make a course and do the things. It's just literally just be present. Stop overthinking it the right way. You're already doing it. You are the oracle. Keep facing your true north because your vibration is rising and you will intuitively be led to the next thing. Yeah, you guys, yesterday we went to go and do a sound check for that show on Saturday. It sounded like shit. And I'm like, what am I doing? It was funny. But while we were there, then we're getting invited to like do these other shows in November. And I'm like, oh, this is weird. Like, okay. So I didn't know what's going on. I just know we're going to go and have fun and play in this cool space with like friends. Play, right? And share a light. Just be the light. Whether or not people like it or not, it's just like the expression of self. There's something there, I think, that's really important for us to just continue trusting the path forward. Okay. I'm going to stop talking. Go up. Oh, hi, Bardo Bunny. You're welcome, Robin. Yeah, nice to see you here this morning. Oh, you guys are all making me think I need to do more morning calls. I just figured people aren't on. The right way it says the card is resonating. I'm already doing it. Not overthink. Jump into it, Michelle. Yeah, yeah. Like everything's working out for you. It just sucks when we're like live in this world where we're so told to have a plan and goals and like clear direction. But the one thing about the mother sphere, Bina, Saturn, is she is just like formless nothingness until she comes into mercy, till it comes into the form, into the manifested form. So yeah, I guess I'm just saying that like many of you, especially if you're identify as like a high priestess, oracle, healer, light worker, prophet, I don't know, whatever, like priest. It's about being, I think, in that space, the beyond. That's where the potential sits. So having gone through darkness, being present with what I've learned and sharing it with others, yeah. Shift to almost everyone talking about vibes is similar. I think a ton of the new findings in science are beginning to mirror spiritual understanding. Yeah, exactly. Whew, I don't know what I'm doing there. Clicking stuff. Thanks, Bardo Bunny. Yeah, yeah, Saturday. Well, probably going to be posting some things on YouTube because apparently you need 100,000 followers on Instagram to go live now. That wasn't a thing before. So that was a bit of a learning yesterday for us. Okay. Wow, these are the messages I needed to hear. You're welcome. Is this what all the claim your space in the void calls were about? The mother space of nothingness. Yeah, basically. Yeah. Thanks for being here. I love the phrase mother sphere. The void is where it's at. Also, yes, all the best with the show. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I appreciate that right way. May you continue to recognize your light and be that over where you are on this side of the planet. And I put the cards away. I wanted to just say, oh, I didn't, it's right here. Notice how there's like the lights at the top, if you can see that. And like, I don't know, 3i Atlas shit. Like I mentioned to other people, like call on the guides, right? Call on those galactic guides to like just bring more light and awareness. Like literally, this is how we can. Anyway, okay, Meredith, we're gonna pull cards for you. I was gonna text you and see how you were, so it's interesting. But I'm glad you're here. Let's see, Meredith. This might be the last one I do because it's already been an hour and I have to go on something else here very soon. Oh, I thought that was going to be the card for Meredith. Oh, we got a duplicate. The Age of Light. You've been training for this for lifetimes, but we'll pull another card because you mentioned this unworthiness for Meredith. I mean, this card's very freaking like galactic-y in my opinion, so all the cards may be. So Meredith, it says, take a break. A life's work, not a season. Get off the treadmill because you've been training for this for lifetime. So I don't know what you've been doing or what other things you've been collectively getting yourself up to. I know you tend to like work hard to like have all the things in your mind that you want to like do or accomplish. And I'm going to just link it to like what that card was with Robin is like, how can you bring some play? How can you go out? Like it literally shows someone sitting outside, like just kind of like by the water, arms up, open, receiving the sun, which ties to that other card too, like and a message that had shown up. I can't remember who I was listening to, but yesterday in the evening when I got home, late last night, I listened to something and the lady was like, yeah, you're going to want to spend more time in the sun. And I was like, oh, I was feeling that today. I literally just went and stood outside on the like doorstep. And the sun was just like, oh, and I'm like, oh, this is so nice for end of October. But it makes sense with 3-eye atlas and this conjunct with the sun. Like if we were to think that it's like almost like putting energy into the sun, or its rays, or its energy, yeah, like its consciousness into the sun, and then the sun's like putting it out towards us. I just want to name that. Um, how can we now take the steps? So for you, Meredith, how can you pause, take a break? You aren't going to get everything done in one day. Your life wasn't created in one day. This is about seasons. It's about honoring your body, especially as the feminine. And can you go outside and just like bathe in the energy, and even like I mentioned, to the right way, like bring in that solar energy, that galactic energy, and ask it, communicate with it to support you with what you are working on, or gaining clarity on what's the most important thing that you need to do next, instead of like beating it all in your head and moving. I feel like we're so overwhelmed as a society, so overwhelmed, so overstimulated. So I think this is important, this take a break. But you've been training for this for a lifetime, so there is no missing out. You are this age of light. Again, if you're here, whatever those feelings of unworthiness are, the fact that you're just here means you are worthy. And we all go through these ups and downs, just like the seasons, and it can be so, so difficult. So whenever those feelings come up, I really do think it's like that's when the break, the rest, vegging out, watching a movie, eating something comfort wise, like I think that stuff can be really helpful, because it helps us to just like nourish and care for our bodies, for our minds. And we all go through it. And I don't know, man. I think we're going to go through way more periods or days of that up until the end of this year, which it's going to be hard because a lot of people are going to want to like leave the planet. Like a lot of people are going to want to either consciously or unconsciously choose to be done with this lifetime. And I just hope that all of you here, there's no judgment on people's choices, but to know that there's a reason you're here. And those feelings of like wanting to just abandon ship, they can come. And it's like, really, can we learn to be in the like fucking that void, right? That grim space of what we're experiencing. Because it's like, ugh. Everyone goes through that. Most people just don't talk about it because they have so much taboo about it. But I hope like for the month of November, as I mentioned, so Monday starting, we'll have that sacred sexuality. And we're going to be talking about pleasure. We're going to be talking about all this stuff that like, it's going to help us heal the places we're disconnected. Where the places we close off to that pleasure and that juiciness of life. But like tune into this, like, yeah, the energy that created us. I don't know what I want to say with that, but there's something I think for the November that hopefully will help. And for me, sex and all that stuff is heavily tied with self-worth. So, Meredith, I hope that resonates for you. Oh, thank you, Robin, for the coffee or the tea. I appreciate that. May it return to you tenfold. Thank you. Okay, Bardo Bunny. Okay, we'll pull cards for you then. Well, last one. Lots of busy work instead of the life's work. I love this. We'll work on playing. Oh, you're so fun. Can listen to this over again. Yeah. I appreciate you being here. Yeah. Can you go out somewhere today and like just, okay, universe, what can you bring to me? What awesome experience can you bring? That question, and like, how does it get any better? And like, see what the universe brings to you. The October slide is real for many, and the times right now don't make it any easier. Yeah. Yeah, totally. Okay, last reading. Bardo Bunny, I'll pull for you. And then I'm going to sign off. And yeah, I hope you all are honoring your body, especially with this whole current energies of the world. I want to thank you for being here. If you would like to subscribe, do so. If you think someone else needs to hear this message, you can share it with them, share the video. Join me again next week. Join me in the month of November, where we're going to be looking at all this fun sexual energy, sacred sensuality. And if you'd like personal cards pulled or other work with me, you can check out my links, the shop links. And yeah, some of you have had personal readings. You can find that stuff below. I even opened it where now it's not just audio recording readings. You can do like one-on-one readings with me, and you can like schedule a time. So maybe that's something you'd like to dive deeper into. Bardo Bunny, answer the call. What is your soul calling you to do? So just sitting with that question and what comes up first thing. Gotta like feel like I feel like I can hear like your ancestors and guides kind of like in this like huddle of people. Like they're like there and they're kind of like, why aren't they doing the like, you know, it's like it's your daughter. Or, you know, like you'd hear like family fights or something. It's like, it's your son. Like, what do you expect? Like that kind of thing. It's like, it's kind of like, it's not like bad or like conflictual. It's just funny. It's kind of like, you know, like all those memes where it's like shows the person and then it shows like the spirit guides having like a completely different response or reaction. I feel like it's like that energy. So I don't know what this is for you, Bardo Bunny. I'm just going to ask that your guides, your ancestral team, really like amplify the light notifications that are going to guide you towards answering that call. So like I'm seeing them kind of like giving you like these threads or strands of energy that contain like strength, confidence, clarity. So just breathing that in as you receive it. And anyone else obviously present can do this same thing with their guides if they feel called. But it's like, what is your soul calling you to do? Like there's something you've kind of been sitting in this pause, waiting for like the right time to like respond, like waiting for the right day. But it's like, they're just giving you this energy to be like, the time is now. Like, you know, like you just got to take a step. So what is that one thing? Let them show you. Like, and you know, sometimes it seems like, okay, you have this huge like vision or soul call. And it's like, you know, it's so far out there. You have no clue how it's going to happen. I kind of like just going back to the story I shared about the music stuff and like putting oneself out there, playing, just having the fun. Like it's like this, but I think for you, Bardo Bunny, it's almost like, is it you just taking a piece of paper and writing out like reverse engineering? Okay, this is where you want to be at the bottom of the page, wherever, whatever that is. And then like just kind of seeing, okay, now like if I were to sit with this, call in the guides to show you or guide you with this practice. Okay, well, the thing that needs to happen before that is this, I think. Okay, then the thing that needs to happen before that is this. And like make your way as much as you can. And then when you get to the closest of where you are now, like, okay, what's the one thing you can do? And the one thing you'll have done at this point is made this like paper map, right? That's a step forward. Then it might be like, oh, okay, now I see I need to like get on the phone call with this person and just say, hey, what's up? That might be the next thing. So I feel like that is like a super important thing for you right now. Answer the call. Like no more waiting for this next day bullshit. Sorry. But that's kind of like, I'm like feeling it's very like, I don't know what your ancestral lineage is, but um, it feels very like, like a Nigerian, like my great great grandmother, or like my grandparents even. It's very like, just slap me on the back of the head or something. Okay. I'm smiling so, oh yes, receiving, amplifying for everyone else present. Thank you. That feels like the needed medicine. I'm feeling smiling so big because this is absolutely resonating. The time is now. Vision does feel big, far away. I don't know how to get there anymore. It's strange. Yeah. Yeah, I feel that. It's like, even for myself, I'm like, there's things that I felt to create and I've tried and then it falls apart and then I go back to it. And then yesterday it was like there was more clarity just because I wrote it on a piece of paper. There's something about paper for you. So I'm just, yeah, sharing that with you, Bardo Bunny. And yeah, anyone else that needs to call to that energy. So, anyways, okay, what time is it? I gotta go. Way too much time on it. But it's always fun. How to create while everything is breaking down. Yeah, right? We need that tower moment so that the new. I haven't been to like the World Trade Center's place ever, but like I'm just envisioning that. It feels like really dark, but like these fucking huge towers crumbling. And then now it's like, I think it's just like, isn't it just like a memorial space? But like it takes time, but it will be clear. So, yeah. I haven't used it in a way long time. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Sweet. Oh, thanks, Robin. Yeah, I appreciate everyone being here the right way. All of you all joining in, for your generous donations, for your energy. May the guides, spirit continue to light your path as you all just recognize your pillar of light. Thanks, Meredith. Yeah. Okay. Till Monday. Bye. Have a great weekend.